Oh, geez. Hey, everybody. I'm Vienna, the insurance exam teacher. I help people study. Oh, that is crazy. Doesn't seem to move. Okay, anyways, that just kind of tripped me up, y'all. I help people pass the insurance exam. So if you are studying for your insurance exam, let me know. Say hello in the comments. Ask me questions. Whatever questions you have about studying for your insurance exam, how to get your insurance license, whatever state you're in. Tell me what state you're in. Tell me what company you're going to work with. Are you in insurance right now? Let's have a conversation through the chat. Let's talk about it. Let's see. Tell me, guys, where are you from? What are you doing? Are you in insurance? Are you thinking about getting your insurance license? If you're thinking about getting your insurance license, and I'm popping up right now, this is your sign to do it. Do it, guys. If you're rewatching this live, drop whatever questions you have down in the comments. Guys, where do you go to study for your insurance exam? Right here, insuranceexamcourse.com. That is where you can sign up for my study groups. I have two options for those of you who want to study for your insurance exam with me. I have been doing this for over 4 years. And before that, I was a school teacher. I quit teaching with insurance and with digital marketing. Okay, so my background, I've been a teacher. I was a teacher for 14 and a half years. I quit 2 years ago. But for 14 and a half years, I was a school teacher. I taught high school communications, English and history, AP and regular. I was also a special ed teacher at the 8th grade level for a while and in the high school level. Now, my last 3 years, I was a communications teacher and English teacher at the 8th grade level. And I liked it. I enjoyed it. But there were things that, just like any other job, I didn't enjoy as much anymore. And I started looking for a way out of the classroom. And I used to do insurance years before that. And I decided to go back into insurance in 2019, towards the end of 2019. Guys, I got my license in 1 month. I studied being a school teacher full time and all of that. So I studied for my insurance exam. By Halloween, it was actually a Halloween party where I got my notification through email that night that I had passed, I was approved, and my license was official. So I claim November 1st as like my first official date. Although on October 31st, I was already licensed, but I just didn't see the email till later that night. But anyways, November 1st, 2019, I got my license again. So I started doing insurance part-time every other Saturday. That is literally how I started, because I was like, I'm going crazy. At the time, I was a special ed teacher. So if those of you who are in teaching, you know what the stress level is, how much demand there is on your time and everything else. Now, if you are in the teaching industry, you know that in addition to grading, creating lesson plans, being on top of things, special ed teachers have a caseload of anywhere from 25 to 35 kids. At that point, I had a caseload of 38 kids, which is too much legally in my state. So yeah, my district was doing some things they shouldn't have done. But I didn't have any time. This is part of the reason why I was looking for a way out of teaching. I just literally did not like all of the extra things that I had to do for that specific position that ate up my time outside of school. So I'd leave school at about 5:30 because, yes, the kids leave at 4:30 and y'all think we're done. No, we're not, because we don't get to do anything during the day. So I'd stay about an hour after school. I'd pick up something to eat, Jack in the Box, Taco Bell, whatever, on the way home. Literally eat it, watch a TV show, whatever, for about an hour, turn off the TV, and sit on my desk at home doing special ed paperwork, doing reports, doing preparation for ARD meetings and everything else till about 1 or 2 in the morning every freaking day. And now that my weekends were also eaten up by special ed paperwork, which again was extra, not grading, not lesson planning, not creating things individually for each student, none of the normal teacher shit, literally special ed paperwork. Now, the worst thing about it in my district at that time, it was not stipend. I had absolutely no extra pay for any of that time. Again, guys, 7 p.m.-ish to 1 or 2 a.m. every single day, every single weekend as well. I hated it. I came to truly hate it. So in addition to that, yes, all of the other things that teachers tend to tell you all about, the kids, the behaviors, the attitudes at school, not being able to be with them, all of that was really stressing me out and making me unhappy. And on top of that, my principals at the time too, if anything's wrong, if that paperwork's wrong, if a parent's upset, if anything's wrong, that's your certificate on the line. I was not backed up. I was never helped in that aspect. And I was constantly being stressed out and told that's on you and that's going to be your certificate. You're going to be the one that if the district gets sued, we're going to put it on you. And it was too much. So 2019, I started looking for a way out of teaching. I used to do insurance before I went into teaching, and that was actually a fluke. And I'll tell you all how I went into teaching. Now, I liked it. Teaching's awesome. Until you get to that point where you're like, it's too much and whatnot. And now that happens. I was burnt out. And again, it happens with every profession. You can kind of have a similar thing. So if you are looking to get out of whatever job you're in, guys, go here, get in my class and let me help you get into a program and get into a company that is going to help you make that money that you need to replace your income, get you extra income, and all of that. So anyways, I was a burnt out teacher. I had absolutely no time for myself because I was in school or I was working on stuff for school that I didn't get to do during my school hours. So I had no time for anything fun, no time for going out, no time for nothing. So 2019, I got my license. It was November 1st when I officially started working. I remember I called my manager that weekend. I was like, I need some leads. I got some leads that weekend. I went out. I had 4 appointments. I think I sold 1 policy from those 4. And that was just the beginning of what it was. So every other weekend for a little bit, I went and I actually matched my teaching income. So 2020 came around. I was ready to quit. I was ready for that to be my last year of teaching. However, then COVID happened and teaching was a safe profession at the time. I wasn't at home. I wasn't being let go. It wasn't uncertain the way that so many other professions were. Right. So I said, okay, you know what? I'm going to stick this out. I'm going to see what happens. And I'm going to teach for a little bit more. Fast forward to 2022, I did 2 more years beyond that, and I was able finally to quit. But by this point, I'd been doing insurance for about 2 years now. I was happy. I was safe. I was like, okay, I can go and leave teaching, and I did. And then my manager one day goes, hey, we need a way to get all of our new agents licensed fast. So we created a course for our office that I did in person at the time. And it was a weekend, Saturday, Sunday class, and everybody was getting their licenses within a week or 2 of doing that. Then I started teaching people online how to do it, and I do it on Zoom as well. We started adding that into the class and everything else, and that was awesome. So that is where this started, guys. And now I have an online course. You can sign up for it right here. I have 2 options for the classes. And what it's going to give you is for 60 days, you are going to have your own platform you can log on to. You can study, you can review videos, practice exams, and you can go through and look at all of this information. Okay. And guys, I give you the information you need to pass the test. I give you testing strategies, which you need that you can actually do during your test. And guys, these testing strategies will help you in any given test. I do have that linked down in the description of the video for those of you who are rewatching this. So feel free to check out those links down there, the resources. You can download those PDFs. If you're not interested in the course, or maybe you're just kind of like, oh, my test is next week, I just need some testing tips. What can I do during my test to make it easier, to pass it faster and sooner? I've got you. Now, if you're studying and you're like, you know what, I already have a course, but I just would like some study tips, that same PDF, again, link down there in the description of the video, will also have study strategies you can use. Now, I'm not giving you like stupid things that we can Google and like go on ChatGPT, guys, like, or things that may not even work for you because they don't work for everybody. I'm not going to tell you, make sure you have a good breakfast, because guess what? Some of you, when you eat, you get sleepy like in the next hour, which happens to me. So for me, if I'm going to go into a test or somewhere where I know I need to be alert, I need to be energized, I don't eat. I don't eat until after I'm done with that. Why? Because this is what happens when I was doing my PPR exam. And this was actually for my English exam, because when you are becoming a teacher, you need to do what they call the PPR exam to get your actual teaching certification, plus the content exam for whatever content you're teaching. So if that's PE, English, history, whatever. At the time, I needed to get my English exam. I went in. I did not sleep the night before. I am a bit of a night owl. And my mom kind of saw me that morning and she's like, no, I'm going to drive you. I'm going to go with you. Well, on the way, it was about an hour and a half drive to get to the testing center because I'm from a small town. The next big city over is about an hour and a half drive, given traffic and all that. So we're getting close to the testing center and she's like, oh, you need to eat something before the test. I said, no, I don't, because I'm going to go in and fall asleep if I do. And she's like, no, you need to eat something, whatever. We stopped at Whataburger and got a little biscuit. Sure enough, I make it into the testing center about 20 minutes later. I think I did a couple of questions. I think maybe I did like the first 20 or 23 questions and I passed out. This was a 5-hour exam. During those 5 hours, I was going to be doing 100 questions. All of them were about the English content, how to teach English, and things like rhyme scheme and all of that. 2 essays, 2 full essays, and one of those kind of like study style. Here's a paragraph like we do in high school and middle school and all of that. Read the story, answer these questions based on the story. So guys, I had 5 hours to answer 100 random questions about English, just like all high school English. I also had 2 essays to do, a story to read, and about 10 more questions to answer on that story. So it's a huge test, but they give you 5 hours for that. I slept for about 4 of those hours. So I did, like I said, 20-ish questions, passed out. The dude did not wake me up. There's a test proctor there. And I got upset at him when I was leaving and I was like, why didn't you wake me up? So I woke up with a little under 40 minutes to complete 80 questions, 2 essays, read the story, and those questions for it. I was pissed, but I came out of there thinking I'm not going to pass this test. I literally told my mom I fell asleep. I shouldn't have eaten. I knew better. I'm pretty sure I failed. So when I got my next paycheck, I literally put $250 away for that test. Yeah, that test was about $200, but I kind of figured that I was going to be needing some more because of state registration fees, whatever, in case I needed that. Anyways, I passed the test. I was very surprised. But I managed to pass that exam. Why though? Because of the study strategies. And these study strategies, I've used them myself. I know that they work. I've taught them to so many people to go and take their insurance exam, and they know how to pass it. I've also I've also taught them to my students, my English 4 AP students, and they use these strategies on their AP exams. Guys, I got so many of these kids to get college credit through the AP exam to where they don't have to go and take that actual class when they go and they start college. That it was just amazing, right? So my last group of kids who took that test, I actually was contacted by AP or College Board or whatever that company was, and through an email I didn't see till like 3 or 4 weeks later, because it's like, hello, I'm on break, I'm not worried about this. But I was being asked, like, how did you help so many kids pass? This is a super hard test. We make it super hard, but it was through those study strategies, those testing strategies as well, that so many of my kids were able to go and get practically perfect scores, that so many of my students over the years have been able to go in, take their exam 30, 40 minutes, and they passed it. I actually had a student some time ago from Florida. We studied a couple times. I gave him the study strategies. I gave him the study and the testing tips. We went over them. He used them. He implemented them. He called me about 40 minutes, under an hour. And his exam was supposed to be about an hour 15 or whatever. He called me like 30 minutes later. I saw the phone ring. I saw his name. I was like, oh my God, he overslept. I'm going to like choke him somehow. Even though I'm in Texas, he's in Florida. But anyways, he called me. He was all like, oh, I'm done. By the way, what, can somebody, I forgot what question he asked me, but he basically asked me if somebody can add a charity organization as a beneficiary on an insurance account. I said, yes. Why aren't you taking your test? What's wrong with you? Oh, I'm already done. I got an 85. So he went in there, he got an 85. He was done with it in about 35 minutes. He said, I studied, I did those strategies, and I did the testing strategies too. They helped, and they helped me get in and out of there real quick. Guys, this was his first time taking the test, in and out, 85. So I know how to help y'all pass this exam. So if you're interested, follow me, DM me, ask me, how do I pass my life insurance exam? How do I pass my life and health insurance exam? Guys, that is another thing too that I talk about with people all of the time. Right now, I'm working with someone and he's thinking he's going to take his life insurance exam. And I was telling him yesterday, I was like, take your life and health if you can, because most states it's one exam, it's like 30 extra questions, a few more minutes that they give you on the clock, but it's the difference of 100 questions or 130 questions, an hour and a half or an hour and 45 minutes. Same price. You're going to sit down, you're going to study, you're going to put all this effort, time, and energy into it. So why not study a little bit more content and get 2 licenses with 1 exam versus take your life exam today, wait about a month or whatever, or maybe a year or whatnot, go through the same process, sit down, study, put your time, your energy, your money into more resources, more time, all of that to take a second exam separately. So if your state allows you to take the life and health, that is what I always recommend that people do. So drop your questions in the comments, drop your questions in the chat. And also, guys, just think about this. Like, look at what happened with my former insurance company. Now, when I took the test, my manager said right off the bat, life and health, life and health. And when you're with the company, typically with the type of company I was with the company that was the MLM structure. And I know all of y'all think that's a bad word, but it is not, guys. So multi-level marketing, that is the structure that my former insurance company had. It is awesome because you actually get the opportunity to make more money in insurance and easily make more money through that structure. So if you're with the company and they're setting up and they're talking to you and you're like, oh, that kind of turns me off, don't let it turn you off. It is great. Anyways, in these types of companies, you have this manager in San Antonio, this manager in Houston, this manager here, this manager in other cities and states and whatever. Those companies tend to be huge. And our office, our manager always told us life and health, life and health, life and health right off the bat. Other offices, because they thought the test is easier to just go and take a 97 question test or a 100 question test versus a 125 question exam, because at the time it was the difference of literally 100 questions for the life only or 125 questions for the life and health. Same price. Why not, right? So our manager said, do the life and health. That's what we were doing. That's what my specific office within our company was doing. And guess what? 2 years down the road, our company was like, hey, guess what? We're going to start selling Medicare. Well, what do you need to sell Medicare? Number one, you need your health insurance license. Then you need your AHIP license, which is the actual Medicare license. So now, and guess what? We're going to start selling Medicare in 3 weeks. Because it was like middle of January and you need to take your exam and all of that in February so you can start selling, right? Well, all of these people who only went and took their life insurance license were not able to participate in Medicare right away. But our office, because our manager said, it's 25 extra questions. What's wrong with you? Just take it. Same price, same everything. Go do it. We were able to get our AHIP license right away. And we were able to start selling and participating right from the beginning, from when my former company started selling Medicare. That is something that not many agents in the company period were able to do, because all of these managers and all these other offices were like, don't worry about the health, whatever, just take the life. We don't need it. We don't, whatever. But what if you yourself are in a company and you only sell life right now, but what if in 3 months down the road, a year down the road, or whenever down the road, you are now with the company, or your company says, hey, we're going to start selling health insurance. Go get your licenses. Now here you are trying to do this again, right? So just do it right off the bat, especially if you're not testing like tomorrow or next week. Or if you're willing to say, you know what, why not let me study a little bit more and push my date back a little bit, which is what my student right now said yesterday. I told him, I was like, I recommend doing the life and health right off the bat. Let's do it. I can help you. I've got all the information you need. He said, okay. He was ready to take his test December 2nd. He decided to wait a little bit because now he's like, well, let me study some more of that, because I explained that to him. And it's going to only open up more opportunities and more doors for him, which is super exciting and super awesome, right? So guys, go here. And like I said, insuranceexamcourse.com, what you're going to get. Number one, for 60 days, you are going to get the platform, the online platform. I have 2 options. My first one, the insurance exam course, you will get the ability to log in, watch videos 24/7, PDFs to download, all of the material and everything that you can study with. I break this information down super simple. Now, remember, I am used to dealing with 8th graders. So what you're going to find different from my course versus other courses is I break the information down to the point where you will understand it, to the point where if you have kids, they will understand these concepts and these ideas. And then I'm also trying to whittle down the information as much as possible to what you're going to more than likely see on the test. Now, I can't guarantee you are going to see this, you're not going to see that. Nobody can. If anybody ever tells you, don't even study this, don't even worry about this, because that's never on the test, don't listen to them. They don't know what's on and what is not on the test. The companies that create the test are at the state level. It's going to be a specific company, and we can see what type of questions they have. We can see what they offer. We can see all of those things, right? But nobody can guarantee what you will see and what you will not see. The way that it works is there's like 5,000 questions in a pot, for example. You sit down, you're going to get 130 that the computer's going to generate for you. Your friend next to you might sit down, they're going to get 130 questions of these random 5,000 questions, right? So there's a possibility we see a lot of things, but given what I see and when I talk to people, what are you seeing? What are you that? And that's what I'm doing. I'm questioning people. So I can tell you right now, this topic is hot. You need to study annuities. You need to make sure you understand Social Security and how Social Security works. You need to understand, let's say, workers' compensation and how that works, right? So that is a benefit to working with someone like me, guys, that I talk to people and I work with people that are taking the test consistently and actively working with people who are doing that. So yes, the courses are great, but you also, if you want some help, if you want some one-on-one instruction, I also offer that. That's also on here. And why do I give you all 60 days to study the material, to log into the material and all that? That is because I want you licensed now. I don't want to give you 90 days, 100 days, all of that, because you don't need that. What's going to happen is you're going to be stuck in study mode. You're going to have all this material and stuff. You're going to get overwhelmed. You're going to tell yourself, oh, I can do it later. I tell people you need to do this in 2 weeks. You start studying with me today. 2 weeks, I want you tested and licensed, because what's going to happen is you're going to lose interest. You're not going to stick around. You're not going to want to start. You're going to put it off if you know you have more time than what you should give yourself. Now, I know this is part-time for a lot of people. When I did it, again, I was a full-time teacher. I got my license in 4 weeks. So if you need to stretch it out because of other commitments, family, friends, especially right now, holidays are coming up. So I know we're going to be traveling, things like that. That's okay. You can stretch it out. That's why I give you 60 days, but try to do it in 4 weeks tops. Try to study, try to get your license and everything else 4 weeks tops, because that's what's going to make you money. Studying, you're not going to make money while you're studying. I don't want you in study mode. I don't want you to be a virtual student forever. I want you to study for a little bit, take your test, pass your test, get your license, and start selling, because that's when you're going to start making money. And that is what I tell people. I'm not here. I would love for y'all to be my students forever. I would love to be friends, but I need you. I need to know you for about 2 to 3 weeks, maybe 4. I need you to study, and I need you to start selling. And after that, we can definitely talk about other things, guys, but this is where to go. And if you don't have an insurance company yet, if you're looking for an opportunity and you're like, who's going to train me? Who's going to help me? All of that. I am recruiting. I do help people get started. I can help hook you up with good companies where you're going to get good commission structures. That's another thing. Some people have really poor commission structures. If you're at a company and they're offering you 25, 30%, just know you can get better right off the bat. I offer 70% with my given company. And let me just give you all an example of how that works. So let's say, and I'll show you all this in a minute, $100 premium a month. They multiply that by 12. That's going to be $1,200 the customer pays. I need to do some math. Figure this out. But 1,200, what is 70% of 1,200? I'm doing math, y'all. And just guys, like I said, while I do the math, I'm going to tell y'all, if you're with the company that's giving you 25%, 30%, you can get more. All right, so all right, let me explain some numbers to y'all. So I hope this isn't backwards. If it is, just kind of follow with me backwards, because for me, it's a little backwards. All right, so let's say your customer is paying $100 a month. You sell them this policy of $100 a month, right? The company multiplies that by 12. This right here is going to be your annual premium, $1,200. During the first year of your policy, your customer pays this much money to the company. The company is then going to give you a part of this money, of this total, based on whatever commission structure you're landing at, whatever commission level you are at. My example where people in my company start, it's 70%. So again, if you're starting at 30, 25, 40, you're starting low. You can have other companies that will start you off better, brand new agent, just got the license, all of that, right? If you're already an agent and you're looking for a new opportunity, or you've been out of insurance for a little bit, you want to come back, you want to talk to me about it, we can possibly negotiate. But anyways, 70% right off the bat, you just got your license. From this specific policy, when you work with the customer and they decide, yes, give me a policy, they apply, they get approved, you get $1,200 annual premium, you multiply that by 70, you would get paid $840 for this specific deal. Now, these deals, how long do they take to get done or to make or whatever? About 3 hours. Maybe. That's doing paperwork, that's meeting with the customer, getting their information, putting it into the computer, and all of that. So for about 3-ish hours of work, you're going to get $840 with one person. Now, would you be able to do this maybe 4 clients a week? And maybe from those 4, you might sell 2 people, but hey, that's what's 840 times 2. I'm bad at math, and I'm not even going to try to do that in my head. That would be $1,680, right? $1,680 for 2 clients that you closed, estimating at about $100 per person, right? Can you do that? Can you do that part-time? I did. And if I was able to do it as a full-time teacher that had to be at school from like 7:30 in the morning to about 5:30 in the evening, and did a shit ton of paperwork and stuff, again, if you heard my messages and stuff, my story, I was stuck having to do extra paperwork for school pretty much the whole time. You can definitely do that, guys. Even if you did it once, just 1 person a week, right? And now this right here at the bottom, health insurance. My company also does health insurance. Again, this is why I tell people life and health insurance license. And if you are with the company and you only do life and you're looking for how instead of where to start selling health insurance, DM me, follow me, set up a time to chat, because I can help you get started with health insurance. And I'm not going to ask you to leave your current company, okay? This can be like an extra service that you may want to offer. Every time you help somebody get set up with a life insurance plan, you get $25 for that person. Is that a lot? No. Is it good? I think so. That's an opinion, I guess, right? But the cool thing is that now you've got this customer set up on their health insurance. They are going to pay their premium every month, whatever that monthly payment ends up being. Now you get $25 per person every single month that they pay that premium. If you get 40 people signed up for a month, that's $1,000 that you're starting your next month off with on a repeat. And this is how it works. Again, this is health insurance. If you are with the company that only sells life insurance, I can help you get set up with some health insurance. So if you're interested, follow me, DM me, let me know, drop it down in the comments, and I will send you the link to set up a free time to chat with me for like 15 more minutes. And if you don't even have your license yet, guys, go to insuranceexamcourse.com, sign up for one of my options. If you already have a course and you already have a company, awesome. Sign up for a one-on-one tutoring session with me, and I will help you pass your test. I've been doing it now for 4.5 years, and I'm going to be doing these lives more often. So let me know, guys. Let me know what you want to do. Let me know where you're at. Let me know what company you're with. Let me know if this interests you at all or not, guys, because this is just, it's an amazing opportunity. I feel so lucky that I get to help so many people get their licenses, start this career, leave careers that they may not be happy in. Because in addition to this, guys, it is so fulfilling. It is so amazing because you are helping people. You're doing a true and genuine thing that is making a difference in people's lives. Guys, I don't even know how to describe the feeling of taking an actual check to somebody when they've had a loved one pass away, the relief that they feel knowing that their expenses are covered. Maybe they're going to be able to pay off their mortgage, their vehicles. Maybe it's literally just enough for that funeral. But at that moment, people should not be worried about finances. So being able to give them that check and telling them, it's okay, here you go. You don't have to worry about this, so they can go be sad and get better, is awesome. So again, go to insuranceexamcourse.com. Let me help you get started. And if you have questions, drop it down into the comment section. Look at my other videos because I have videos with topics, with study strategies, testing strategies. Look at the links down in the description as well for my other videos. If you're already studying, you want to check those out. Don't forget to follow me and ask whatever questions you want into the chat, guys.